moved into a cheap studio apartment about 2 weeks ago. It wasn't anything fancy, just a small place in an older building downtown. The rent was low, which should have been my first warning sign. But I was broke and needed a place fast, so I didn't ask too many questions. The first few nights were fine, a little noisy from traffic outside, but nothing I couldn't handle. It was the fifth night when I started hearing something strange. It was late, probably close to 2 a.m. I had just turned off the lights and was lying in bed when I heard it. A soft whispering sound. At first, I thought it was coming from outside, maybe someone talking on the street. But when I sat up and listened closely, I realized it was coming from the air vent near the ceiling. I stood on a chair and put my ear close to it. The whispering stopped. I shrugged it off. Old buildings make weird noises all the time, right? Maybe it was just the heating system or air pressure. Still, it left me feeling uneasy. The next night, I heard it again. This time I didn't get up. I just lay there, frozen, listening. The whispering went on for maybe a minute, then stopped. It became a pattern. Every night around 2 a.m., the whispering would begin. Sometimes it was just faint mumbling, like someone speaking in another room. Other times, it sounded like my name. That's when I started recording it. I set up my phone on the windowsill and hit record before I went to sleep. The next morning, I played it back. At first, it was just static, but then something clear came through. A whisper, behind you. I paused the recording. My stomach turned. I remembered that exact moment. I had been lying there, eyes open, facing the wall. I didn't turn around. I was too scared, and now I was glad I hadn't. The next day, I asked the building manager if there was any kind of crawl space or duct system behind the walls. He looked uncomfortable, then admitted that the building used to have a connected vent system that led to an old basement boiler room, one that had been sealed off years ago after a fire. He told me, half joking, that one of the old tenants had gone missing back then, disappeared in the middle of the night. Weird guy, he said, kept saying someone lived in the walls. I didn't find it funny. That night I didn't sleep. I stayed up watching the vent. The whispering started like usual, but this time it grew louder, more urgent. I swear I heard scratching behind the vent cover, like fingernails. I grabbed a flashlight and shined it into the vent. Nothing, just darkness and dust. But the whispering stopped the moment I looked in. That somehow made it worse. I called a friend the next morning, my buddy Nate, and begged him to spend the night. He thought I was overreacting, but agreed. We stayed up late watching movies, but I kept checking the time. At 1:55 a.m., I turned off the TV and told him to just listen. Sure enough, at 2:01, the whispering began. Nate's smile dropped. He stared at the vent. What the hell is that? I told you. The whispering kept going. Then it got louder. More voices joined in, whispering over each other. One of them, very clearly, said, "You let me in." Nate stood up, freaked out. "Dude, this place is messed up. We should go." But I was already frozen again, staring at the vent. It felt like something was just on the other side, waiting. We left and went to Nate's place for the rest of the night. When I returned the next day, my apartment was freezing cold. I checked the thermostat, it was normal. But the air coming out of the vent was icy. I walked over, stood on the chair again, and looked in. That's when I saw it. Not a person, not an animal, just a pale sunken eye, staring back at me I fell off the chair and scrambled out of the apartment. I never went back. I broke my lease and moved in with Nate for a while. I reported it to the police, but they found nothing. No signs of forced entry. No signs of anyone hiding in the walls. They chalked it up to stress, hallucination. Told me maybe it was mold messing with my head. But I know what I saw. A week later, Nate sent me a message. I stayed at your old place last night. Thought I was imagining things. But the vent started whispering again. If you like this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy true horror stories.